What's going on, guys? Over the last few days, I've gotten a ton of different comments and messages on Instagram and here on YouTube asking my opinions on the 2019 World Championships that just happened in Manchester. So I thought I would take the time just to kind of give you a little bit of my opinion overall of the fights that I've been watching from the live streams of the World Taekwondo Championships, as well as that big controversial fight that happened between Bianca Walton and Sheehan. So I'm going to be getting into that a little bit as well, kind of give you a little bit of my opinion, my thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and get the video started. Alright, so briefly I just want to kind of talk about the whole World Championships, overall what I thought of it, and honestly, overall I watched a lot of the live streams throughout the days that the tournament was going on, and I thought most of the fights that I saw were pretty boring for the most part. A lot of just jabbing that front leg, a lot of clinching. I saw a lot more pushing this time, or at least that's what I noticed more. I noticed more pushing and just clinching a lot, and that's just, to me, that's not what I want to see. I did see a few good fights. Definitely Aaron Cook's fights were awesome. Always fun to watch Aaron Cook. Even when he loses, win or lose, he always puts on a really good show, and that's what I wish everyone would fight. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that, but definitely he's probably one of my favorite fighters to watch. A couple other fighters that I saw was Abu Ghosh from Jordan. He has a couple pretty good tricks up his sleeve. I like watching him fight as well. He's usually pretty exciting for the most part. And then also, I believe, oh yes, Lee Dae-hoon from Korea. He's always fun to watch. Bradley Sidden from Great Britain. He kind of, recently here, has kind of caught my eye. He's kind of come out on top. He's won a lot of really big tournaments here recently, especially, obviously this one, he won the World Championships. He beat Lee Dae-hoon from Korea, so he's kind of exciting to watch too. Him fighting Lee Dae-hoon was actually a pretty good match. He ended up, I think he won by like 1 point in their match, like in the last few seconds he scored another shot, so their fight was pretty good. It was a really close match. I do enjoy watching that match as well. And then I think another fighter, Lauren Williams from Great Britain. I usually enjoy watching her. I know she lost kind of early on in the competition this time around, but she's won, the Grand Prix. I think she won the Grand Slam as well last year. So she's usually pretty exciting, aggressive fighter. That's just kind of the few fighters that kind of stuck out to me, usually stick out to me throughout the tournaments, the Grand Prix, and then the World Championships. Everyone else that I saw, I didn't really see anyone else stick out to me. Everyone was kind of, like I said, overall I thought the tournament was kind of boring for the most part. But I'd definitely like to know what you thought overall of the fights. Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know who some of your favorite fighters are to watch. Definitely probably my top fighter to watch is Aaron Cook. He's always so much fun to watch. He's good with this. He can use that front leg game, back leg game, and he's always going to throw some spin kicks too. So definitely keeping it exciting, and it's definitely exciting for viewers to watch as well. I think most people would agree with me on that. But that's kind of my overall thoughts of the tournament. I thought it was more boring than normal. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of the overall tournament, the overall fights. Alright, now let's talk about the big controversial fight, Bianca Walton of Great Britain versus Sheehan of China. So this is one that everyone keeps asking my opinion on, so I thought I would kind of give you a little bit of my thoughts after watching it, after thinking about the fight a little bit more. First, let's talk about the perspective from Bianca Walton of Great Britain. I do understand that it is a sport, and she was doing what she had to do to win. I get it. I understand that. I think that the gamjangs that Sheehan was getting for going out of bounds, that's a big gray area. And I think that since it was the last few ones that led to her being disqualified, those last few gamjangs that she got being led up to the 10, I think should have been a little bit more clear. They shouldn't have been in that gray area, and I feel like they were. And I don't like how it looks like, an outsider looking in, it looks like Bianca just won off of pushing. So that's kind of, I understand what she was doing. She was doing what she needed to win. I get that. I understand it. It's a sport. Everyone's competitive. You want to win. But then on the downside of that, people watching that, they're going to be like, oh, you were losing in points. It was like 20-10. You're losing. You barely even scored any points. Yet you won because you basically looks like you pushed your opponent out of bounds a few times and basically was pushing her around the ring, smothering her until Zhang Sheehan got 10 gamjangs, and then you win because she got disqualified. Not because you actually fought her and won. So that's kind of my perspective there. Personally, I would not want to win off of that. I would not have been happy with winning off of that. I want to win because I was a better fighter. I don't want to win because my opponent got disqualified. And I was down in points. I understand what Bianca was doing. She wanted to win. I get it. I get that. Personally, I wouldn't want to win like that. But I do see her side. The ref wasn't giving her gamjangs for it, so she kept doing it. It's a sport. It's a game. You play the game to win. So I get that side. I get all that. Unfortunately for Zhang Sheehan, she was winning in points. I know she did get gamjangs earlier in the match. She did some leg checking. So yeah, she deserved, most of those gamjangs. But I feel like it was a little unfair to her. I think a lot of the gamjangs that she got towards the end were a really gray area. They could have gone either way, and unfortunately, they all went against her. So I see her being upset with that. I think that her and her coach could have been a little bit smarter, because once you get to like 7 gamjangs, you should start being a little bit more cautious, trying not to go out of bounds, trying really hard not to go out of bounds, because I know they probably weren't thinking of getting up to 10 and being disqualified. That's probably not what they were thinking about, but they should have been thinking about that. They should have been like, oh, we're starting to get closer to 10. We need to be extra cautious and not fall into this trap, because it went against me the whole time. And refs, I've been to tournaments, state tournaments, other tournaments where the ref has, calls have gone against me that I feel shouldn't have gone against me. And obviously it doesn't matter what level you're at. But the ref, at the end of the day, the ref is in charge. If you see the ref is giving you gamjangs for something that you don't think you should be getting them from, you just need to make that adjustment and just be very cautious and be careful the rest of the time. So that's kind of my opinion on it. I don't agree the way that Bianca Walton won. I personally wouldn't have wanted to win that way. But I don't hold their actions against either of them. I respect both players. I'm not going to try to judge either of them too much, because I wasn't in that moment. I wasn't in that position. So you can't really say, oh, I would have done this. But do you really know what you would have done in that moment with the emotions running high? I would just like to, think that I would, if I was Zhang Sheehan, I wouldn't have shown being so upset. I would have liked to think that I would be able to control all that, at least till I'm in private, and then I can be upset and frustrated and angry. I would like to say that, I will say that I wouldn't have wanted to win how Bianca won. I definitely know that. I feel, yes, I would have taken the win, but I wouldn't feel good about it. I wouldn't be celebrating that win. We'll put it that way. I wouldn't be celebrating a win like that. Also, I wouldn't go down fighting like that. The third round of any of my fights, if I'm winning or losing, I'm going to be fighting. Especially if I'm losing. If it's the third round and I'm losing, I'm going to go out fighting. That's just how I am. That's how I am personally. I don't think, I'm going to try to get this person to get disqualified because of gamjangs. Like, I personally just would go down fighting because I enjoy to fight. I enjoy fighting. I enjoy kicking. I'm not a huge fan of all the new rules. Recently, in the front leg game and it being kind of boring, I like more of an exciting fight. I like being part of an exciting fight as well. So that's just more my style of how I fight too. So that's just going to differ as well. But like I said, I respect both players. I don't hold anything against them, any of their actions. Those are just kind of my viewpoints, how I feel that if I was in their position, I would have acted, what I would have done. But I definitely would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of the whole fight? How it went down? How would you want to win like that? Let me know in the comments down below. Definitely want to hear what you guys say. Start a discussion in the comments down below. But like I said, I still respect both fighters, I still respect both of them. At the end of the day, it's all in the ref's hands. So unfortunately, the ref just, I feel, made a few bad calls, a few questionable calls. We'll leave it at that. The ref made a few questionable calls, and unfortunately, that's how it ended up. But definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm going to wrap up the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to listen in on this video. I know some of you have been requesting it, so I thought I would go ahead and do it while it's still kind of fresh. I have taken the last few days to catch up on some more fights, and like I said, I gave you my opinions in the beginning. Overall, I thought it was kind of more on the boring side. I wish things were a little bit more exciting. Let me know what you think of the whole World Championships, what you thought of Bianca Walton versus Sheehan. Let me know all that in the comments down below. Start a discussion down there. Would love to hear all of your different opinions from different viewpoints. So make sure you guys drop those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like us on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. I'll see you guys later.